Albert Sanchez Alvarez, quartermaster, second class, USS Kitty Hawk, USS Cook, FF 1083. April 18th, 1982. I did about 4 months here, my basic training. And if you look behind me, there's a bridge where we would march over at least 4 times a day for exercises, for marching, drilling, food, whatever it may be. But we would come over here. Our days consisted of marching, as you can imagine, school, learning how to fight fires, learning how to do basically the things that we needed to do. One of the things I enjoyed the most was the actual handling of the M1 rifle. We would do a lot of that acrobatic, things with the M1 rifle. One of the fonder memories I have when I was here is that we actually trained on the Recruit. We stood watch. It was almost like camp in that, I don't think we spent the night here, but we had to stand watch, and I had the mid-watch. I went up to the bridge, and I was destined to go to QMA school, navigation, and I remember telling all my recruit mates that this is what I'm going to be doing when I'm in the Navy. I'm going to be on the bridge, and I was pretty excited. I know that we all started our adventure here going to the Hotel San Diego. Now, I'm from San Diego. I grew up in Chula Vista. I joined the Navy to get out of here, and they sent me here, which was kind of odd. However, it worked out. My parents got to see me graduate. And then they sent me to Florida for school. They sent me to Seattle, Washington. I hooked up with my ship, one of my ships. And then they stationed me in Coronado. So my efforts to leave San Diego always bounced back here. However, in the 4 years that I was in the Navy, I did 2 Westpacks. I got to see a great deal of the world. The friendships that I made while I was there in the Navy are still friends to this day. We still communicate on occasion via social media. We had a reunion in 2021. We all kind of got together and just talked about the good old days. When the Kitty Hawk was here, I had the privilege of having taken my shipmates to my house for Thanksgiving dinner, for Christmas dinner, where my mother would cook for them. And by the way, my parents had retired. I'm the youngest in my family. They lived in Rosarito, Mexico at the time. So my shipmates would spend Thanksgiving and Christmas in Mexico. Calling home from my mom's house, and they would say, like, oh, where are you? Oh, I'm at Chez's house. That was my nickname, but where? Rosarito, Mexico. What? I'm in Mexico having Thanksgiving dinner. As one person said, whose idea was it to have 19-year-olds do the type of work that we did? It's insanity, but we did it, and we did it proudly. There was one particular day, because I came here April through June, latter part of June, maybe into July. It was getting warm. In between the barracks were these wash basins where the older recruits, the ones from World War II, would wash their uniforms. So we're out there shining our shoes, smoking our cigarettes. It was the 80s. And to get out of the sun, I went underneath the wash basin just to get out of the heat. And I looked up, and I couldn't believe what I was looking at. It was filled with graffiti from previous sailors, previous recruits that came here. And the graffiti was, even in there, it was pretty regimented. Name, city of origin, and year they were here. And you could just look at it and say, that guy's going to World War II. That guy's going to Korea. That guy's going to Nam, And I put my name, heck yeah, because we would stencil our uniform. I put my name, Chula Vista, California, 1982. It kills me that none of those basins ever survived, because they had a history, a timeline of all the people that came through this place.